Welcome back to Mob of Two. We are the fucking Mob of Two.
What we doing today?
We are ranking some fucking Batman movies. That guy who fucking runs around at night dressed as a bat is probably equally as fucking crazy as the people he puts into a mental asylum.
Yeah, let's rank some Batman.
Rank 'em, boy. You're up.
I'm up. We got Batman.
You're up, yeah, Batman from, I think, 1989, maybe? 1990?
89.
89.
I am gonna put that. I like Jack Nicholson as the Joker. I think Michael Keaton did a pretty solid job as Batman.
Yeah.
I enjoy that film. I like how crazy people get in it. I'm gonna put that in B. I'll put that in B.
I love your vague description due to not seeing it in a while. I love how crazy they get in it.
It's been many years since I've seen it, but it's a B for me.
It's
Michael
a B
Keaton,
for Batman.
Jack Nicholson. It's a B for Batman. What I meant with people going crazy is there's scenes where in the city, like, people are rioting and, like, literally going, like, ape shit.
Oh, alright, yeah. Yeah, it's been a while for me too, but I thought you just meant, like, people are crazy in it. You got the Joker and this Batman guy and the crazy guys.
I literally meant, like, citizens go crazy.
Oh, okay. I get it now. I get it more now. Alright. Yeah, accurate, I think. Because, B. I remember liking that one. I didn't love it. I liked Jack Nicholson in it. He's a great actor. Perfectly good movie. I mean, it's a good movie, but it's not, like, amazing in my opinion either.
Yeah.
Alright. On to Batman Returns. In my opinion, it's better than the original Batman. I really enjoyed Batman Returns. Definitely the highlights would be Danny DeVito as a Penguin. I think he gave the definitive Penguin performance. I haven't really seen anything that has rivaled his performance as a Penguin, in my opinion. And then Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman. For me, she gives I'd probably put her performance in my top, like, 10 or 15, like, female performances in film. I really love her as Catwoman. I definitely think she's my favorite version of Catwoman as well. In terms of the overall story of it, though, I don't think it deserves an S. I'd probably put it at, like, if we're comparing it to, like, all these other Batman movies, I'd probably put it at, like, an A.
That's exactly where I would put it too, brother. I agree. I think that Danny DeVito is awesome as the Penguin. Michelle Pfeiffer is a fantastic Catwoman. I definitely would agree that it's a top tier performance from an actress.
Definitely
memorable. I love Christopher Walken is in it as well.
Oh yeah.
I love this. I thought the scene was so funny when, like, I forgot the exact line, but, like, Danny DeVito is talking to Catwoman. He's like, oh, just the pussy I wanted to see. He's like,
you never put that in a movie, no? Like a Batman movie, no?
Yeah, I agree. A for that.
Oh yeah. To anyone who has not seen Batman Returns, I know by now it's kind of an old movie. Definitely watch it. It still is entertaining, in my opinion.
Very good. Great movie.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. What we got next? What's next on the list?
You're up. Got a doozy here.
It's a little zoomed out for me. I don't know which one it is.
Here, I'm gonna help you out here.
My eyes are not what they used to be.
You old fuck. How about
What is it? Is that a Batman Forever?
Batman Forever with Jim Carrey as Riddler?
Okay. Batman Forever. I growing up, I liked this movie because I love Jim Carrey.
Me too.
And I felt like the performance wasn't that bad, honestly. It was weird seeing Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face in it. It was kind of like a fever dream a bit, this movie. I feel like I would put it at C. I'll put it at C because I got a soft spot for Jim Carrey, and I do think that one of these movies on this list is worse. So
Yeah. I mean, I think nostalgia plays a role in this. I think, like you mentioned, Jim Carrey. I loved Jim Carrey growing up too. He was one of my favorite actors ever growing up. I loved his movies. I agree with you. I think, yeah, compared to some of these other ones, or maybe one, I think I know the one you're talking about, but yeah, I think that's accurate. C. You could also go into that movie, anyone could go into that movie viewing it as like a really like cheesy movie, almost so bad that it's good. Like, I don't think it's the type of bad where it's just, you don't get any type of enjoyment. Like, you can at least like kind of laugh at the bad parts of it, you know?
yeah, it is. It's almost like man, Batman movies are so weird because it's like so vastly different, the qualities of them.
Yeah, they really
are. And they're all kind of have their own unique kind of spin on it in a way, but it felt like it was more of like the cheesy, like they took from like the Adam West kind of vibes a bit, and like they were kind of making it like almost like a comedic movie where it was like, I don't know, just that time even was like those movies. There was a lot of, it just felt like almost in a way like a cash grab. It's like, oh, let's go see the Batman movie with like Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey. It was just like more like the names Val Kilmer instead of like actually like putting effort into making like a serious like Christopher Nolan kind of Batman.
true. I think that, yeah, good point. They kind of didn't take a lot of time to really handpick who should be playing, who would like match the energy of the character, you know?
Yeah, it's just like grab the names that'll get people in the seats in a way.
Yeah, I agree with that. Did you know that on that movie, Tommy Lee Jones hated Jim Carrey?
Really?
He hated him. Yeah, Jim Carrey said it was like the meanest anyone had ever been to him on any movie set. He said like Tommy Lee Jones was totally like not in a good mood, not in like a joking mood. And you're on like the set of a Batman movie that, like you mentioned, was really campy and cheesy and kind of just like, you know, supposed to be this, have a vibe of like a dumb, fun movie. And apparently he took it, Tommy Lee Jones was like overly into it. It's weird.
I'm sure he probably didn't want to be doing it. I'm sure it was like more of a for the money that they threw at him than, I'm sure he just would rather have been doing something else.
True, but I mean, hard to feel bad for, you know, a millionaire actor, like, big deal, you know?
Yeah, I mean, he shouldn't take it out on his co-workers and shit.
I know. I forgot, I wish I remember the exact thing he had done to Jim Carrey, but I think he, like, whenever Jim Carrey tried to make people laugh, or try to be funny, I think he would just like glare at him and like call him like a fucking clown or something. But yeah, accurate rating. Now I have to deal with this fucking shit, Batman and Robin.
There you go.
Oh god.
But side note about also Batman Forever, Jon Favreau was in it.
Oh really? Who did he play?
He played like some assistant or something.
Huh. When did Batman Forever come out? 1995 or 4 maybe?
Yeah, I think 95.
Yeah. At that time, Jon Favreau wasn't really famous at all, I don't think.
Yeah, he's just breaking in.
So, all right, Batman and Robin. We're gonna get it out of the way and put it on D.
Yeah.
D because it sucks D. Sucks massive dick. I don't know, man. I mean, I did have fun with it as a kid, but I think even as a kid, I could realize that, okay, this is a little bit much. like as a kid, I liked Batman Forever more than Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
And to be like a really, cause I remember watching these movies when I was really young, like, I don't know, through the ages of 5 to 8, I was probably into them. And, I don't know. Arnold Schwarzenegger has, Mr. Freeze, every word out of his mouth being a fucking pun. Like, literally every line. I don't know how that got approved. I don't know who they hired to make sure, you know, everything was good, but they didn't do their fucking job for the writing of that movie. Every line was a fucking pun. George Clooney as Batman, he didn't really, I'm sure he could have done a better job if he was given better material to work with, but he was given total dog shit. We never know how he could have been with good material. I mean, he's a good actor. I'm sure he could have done a way better job with good material, but having George Clooney, I think it was in that one where George Clooney took out like the bat credit card. It was like a Batman themed, like he was like, charge it to my bat credit card or something.
Yeah.
Fucking abysmal. It's abysmal, unforgivable, totally fucking dumb over the line of being able to have fun with it. Like Batman Forever parts of it, you can kind of have fun with it. Batman and Robin, total dog shit.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely D. There's not much worth saying. It's just a really shitty movie all around. I remember just like the scenes with like Robin like fighting in the alleyway with like this horrible gang. It was just like, just a terrible movie. And I guess I don't remember this at all, but Uma Thurman's in it as Poison Ivy.
Yeah, I can't believe man, they got some big actors for these movies, these 90s Batman movies, but I don't know, man. I'm sure they had a big payday, but
Oh yeah, they had to have.
and they
Definitely. It probably should be worse than a D.
well, on these things, D is the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there was an F, it would be F. But whatever the worst is, that would be where Batman and Robin goes. The dude who played Robin, I think he I don't even know where he went. I don't even know what the fuck he ended up doing.
Maybe a drug addict.
Yeah, drug addict, a gigolo.
Yeah.
But yeah, D tier. Fuck that movie. On to the next. Oh, you got Batman Begins for you.
Nice. Batman Begins. The first of the Nolan trilogy. I remember when I first saw this in theaters, I was like blown away at the quality of this Batman movie. But even it still had some of the vibes of like the classic Batman. It didn't fully go into like that Dark Knight territory where it was just like almost like a standalone piece of art.
Yeah.
But it was still like had some amazing scenes and acting. I'll put it at A.
Yeah, definitely accurate ranking.
I like the whole trilogy. I love, but Batman Begins is definitely my second favorite of the trilogy. And Christian Bale totally nailed it.
He really did.
And Liam Neeson was great, training him and everything.
Yeah, growing up, I really loved the whole idea of being able to watch him become Batman, like train with Liam Neeson. I thought that was really well done. It wasn't boring. It wasn't trite. I liked it a lot. And it worked too because it's not like there had been like multiple movies like that where you saw the very, very beginnings of that. That really was, I think, the first time, right? They never delved into that. And even the original 1989 Batman, they didn't have any of that shit in there.
No, that was the first time that I ever saw anything like that with Batman.
Yeah. And Christian Bale, my favorite Batman, definitely, and an overall great actor. I think he did a really great job with it.
Yeah, so you agree with A on that too?
Definitely, 100%. Should be an A.
Yeah.
Good rating.
Thank you. You got a doozy here.
I don't think we have to argue about this. Goes right to S. Watching The Dark Knight when it originally came out in theaters as a little kid, I don't know, great. There's not much to say that a million people haven't already said about the movie. It's an amazing film. It really transcends the genre. I think arguably, and it's got to be the best superhero movie ever made. Whether we're talking DC or Marvel or any of that shit. I don't really think it has been topped yet. Heath Ledger as the Joker is one of the greatest fucking performances I've seen. Obviously, people have talked about it to death. He completely disappeared into that fucking role. I know there's been other Jokers since him. I think he's still my favorite Joker. It would take a lot for him to not be my favorite Joker anymore. Knowing about the amount of detail Heath Ledger went, the amount of effort he put in order to play the Joker. He kept all these weird journals, a ton of journals that he drew pictures in, and I think he wrote like as if he was writing from the mind of the Joker. He totally disappeared into that role. I think part of him actually thought he was somehow becoming the Joker. Yeah, I love the film. I have great memories of watching it as a kid. I used to rewatch it after it came out, like on DVD. After it got out of theaters, I'd rewatch it. I had like some of the toys from that movie. I loved it. I thought it was fucking amazing.
Yeah, I love that movie. I definitely agree. S tier. It's like I would probably put it in my top 10 movies of all time.
Me too.
Just movie wise, Heath Ledger gives one of the best acting performances I've ever seen. Just the whole dynamic between him and Batman was great, and just definitely I can't believe there are people that haven't seen it. But if you haven't seen it, you gotta see it.
That'd be really weird if there are people who haven't,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm glad you agree, man.
Yeah.
Definitely has to be like, the best superhero movie ever.
Oh yeah, I agree. I can't think of any other superhero movie that even really comes close to the quality that this one is. I mean, yeah, nothing comes to mind.
No, definitely not. So, yeah, S tier, 1,000,000% S tier.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, Batman.
Batman.
Dark Knight Rises, right?
Yep. Dark Knight Rises.
Dark Knight Rises. Got Tom Hardy as Bane.
Yep.
I think I think he did a great job as Bane. I don't think it was as good as The Dark Knight. I think it took a little step back, even though there was still a lot of really cool scenes, and I wasn't blown away by like Anne Hathaway as Catwoman. I thought she was all right. I think I would put this one.
Give yourself like a minute to think back through the movie, because I think there were a few beautiful parts of that film, like him climbing out of that well. Not the well, but the thing he was trapped in.
Yeah, I think I would put this one as an A.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say like B. That's why I said that.
No, it's definitely. I wouldn't put it on that S tier, but
No, I wouldn't either.
it's definitely, especially that scene where he's climbing up out of like the prison and like.
Yep.
There are a lot of cool scenes. I like when the football stadium gets like fucked up and.
Yeah.
Like Tom Hardy really carried a lot of like that suspense, and of course Christian Bale is still like the best Batman of all time in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I put it at A.
Me too. I definitely agree with that. It deserves to be an A. I think personally Tom Hardy is one of my favorite actors. I obviously, following Heath Ledger as a Joker is kind of an impossible task, but I think I think Tom Hardy did as good of a job as anyone could have done, in my opinion, to follow Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
It was a different type of villain, a different type of character, but he still managed to give what I think has become kind of an iconic performance. People kind of do the Bane voice and the whole thing, like it's kind of part of pop culture now. Not anywhere to the degree of Heath Ledger, Joker, but I think I do agree with you that he did a really good job.
Yeah. Got the A.
But yeah, Anne Hathaway was nowhere near as good as Michelle Pfeiffer as a Catwoman.
Right. That's why I like it. I like the order that we have the A tier in also, where it's Pfeiffer first, then Batman Begins. And even though I do think that, I think overall Batman Begins is a better movie than the Michelle Pfeiffer Batman movie, but I think that Michelle Pfeiffer gives the best performance out of any actors in the two.
True. I also think that they're two very different films with two very different vibes. I feel like Batman Returns is a very fun movie.
Yeah.
It's more playful. It's more kind of, even though it's Batman, lighthearted.
It does have a bit of a dark theme to it though, but it is like it's almost like a dark comedy.
Right. Good way to word it. A dark comedy, whereas Batman Begins was the beginning of a whole new like cinematic vibe for Batman. It was very dark. It was very brooding. It was, meant to be taken as like a crime thriller,
Yeah.
really hard to compare the two of where I would, you know, I almost like them equally, just for very like different reasons, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
But it is pretty cool how with the character of Batman, directors have been able to do such, like you kind of alluded to earlier, have been able to pull off, well, not always pull off, there have been bad ones, but they've been able to do really wildly different tones, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, put their own spin on it. And I like the one we got in the B tier. Didn't Tim Burton also direct that one?
Yeah, well, Tim Burton directed Batman 1989, and he directed Batman Returns.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I didn't know he did both, but yeah, that's. I like the Tim Burton. He has like his own unique vibe. You can definitely tell with especially with Batman Returns, that it's like his unique kind of like that dark comedy kind of tone to it.
True, yeah. And then Batman Forever came out, and that's when the train began to go off the fucking rails.
Yeah.
And then Batman and Robin is when everything fucking blew up.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was probably weird for people back then who were, you know, like old enough to remember the movies coming out, to have Michael Keaton in 2 movies, and then Batman Forever comes out, and not only is it a completely different Batman, but now Robin is just there. Like, it's a big change for a third movie, you know?
Yeah. I don't know why I don't know why it went that way, but that's probably. I'm sure someone does a whole video on that story.
Yeah, true. But Michael Keaton did a pretty good job. Apparently, a lot of people back then thought he was a horrible pick because he was kind of a regular looking guy and a regular like sized guy. He was just like a normal guy, but he did pull it off. I thought, you know,
Yeah.
he did a pretty good job as Batman.
Yeah, especially as like Bruce Wayne parts. I thought he did well.
Yeah, he was good as Bruce Wayne. I know he complained about not being able to turn his fucking neck at all in that costume back then, which that would be annoying. Probably why he didn't want to do another one.
Yeah.
Like I can't deal with not being able to fucking turn my head or neck at all.
But didn't he recently reprise his role as Batman in like The Flash or something like that?
He did, yeah, but I never watched it. I don't know. I could not get invested in that whole universe. But
We got one left here.
yep, the Batman. Why don't we have a talk about it? We'll put it, because you haven't watched it all the way through. I don't think it's fair to rate it, but if you ever do end up watching the whole thing, we could do, you know, a little video on it, like doing a full talk about it.
Yeah. I'm down for it. I only watched 15-20 minutes, first 15-20 minutes.
Right. I'll be honest, when the trailer came out, I hated it. I thought the trailer was, like, there was a line in the trailer where there was what was it? I think Jim Gordon was...
It was like rhyming or something.
He was rhyming on purpose. But I don't think it was from him reading. Maybe what happened was they didn't make it apparent that he was like reading from the fucking riddle, but in the movie maybe it was more obvious that he was only rhyming because of the riddle, but in the trailer it was like really cringy. I really did not like it. And I think my expectations for the movie were really, really low because of the trailer. And then the first like 5 minutes of the movie I didn't like at all. I thought the whole scene of the guy, I think in the city with the pumpkin mask on, and it was like Batman was narrating. It was like a very on the nose like thing he was narrating. I didn't like that. Already from the get-go, from that like narration of how overly like dramatic and on the nose that was, it was already like giving vibes of, okay, from the get-go, this doesn't seem as like gritty and down to earth and like realistic as the Chris Nolan movies, which will always be my favorite like superhero trilogy ever, I think, unless somehow it's outdone. But I love what he did with the Batman movies. And then as I gave it a shot and I watched the whole movie, and as it went along, there were a lot of aspects and parts of it that were very gritty and were very realistic, and then other parts that were more like, what's the right word for it, more weird and a little more like comic booky. But there were parts of it that took inspiration from the grittiness and the realism of the Chris Nolan movies, while also, like I said, while also being more comic booky. So I don't think it was a bad movie. I just think it's very hard to be on par with a movie like The Dark Knight, or even the trilogy as a whole, where I would put The Dark Knight in my top films of all time, not the superhero films, top films of any fucking genre. That's pretty much impossible to top, in my opinion. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll watch it all the way through. I just didn't like the first 20 minutes and turned it off.
Yeah.
And like you said, that you didn't like the first 5 minutes or whatever, so that's like a big percentage of what I saw.
Yeah, it was like a third of what you saw.
So, yeah, I just wasn't digging the vibe. It was like a moody, emo Batman vibe I was getting. I just wasn't feeling it. I was like, I'm not gonna watch this shit. But
were you
maybe
having a bad day that day?
Yeah, it definitely. I definitely could have been having a better day to watch it.
You know what I've noticed is, when on days where I've had a bad day, if I try to watch a movie and it's not like amazing at the beginning, I'm like, fuck this, and I'll turn it off.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't having the best day that day. So. But maybe I'll give it another shot, and we'll discuss it more in depth, like for its own video or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Definitely.
But tell us what our finished tier list is here.
All right. At the very top, yes, we have The Dark Knight, a fucking amazing, not only an amazing comic book movie, but an amazing film. Love the movie, love Heath Ledger. And A, we have Batman Returns, Batman Begins, and The Dark Knight Rises, which, you know, for a franchise to have 3 of the films in A, I think that's pretty good, you know?
Yeah.
B, we have the original Batman from 1989. C, we have Batman Forever with Jim Carrey and Val Kilmer as Batman. D, we have Batman and Robin, which was a total fucking train wreck. And then in the Unsure, we have the Batman, which we may do a video for in the future, due to Andrew not watching the whole thing. But yeah, there you have it.
Nice tears. You got some nice tears on you.
You got some nice tears on you, boy.
Nice.
Maybe I'll lick them off you.
Lick them tears off me, brother.
I will. But our viewers can't hear that.
Well, cut it off and let's get going.
When we have a Patreon someday, that'll be on there.
You'll get the licking of the tears.
Oh yeah, baby. All right.